What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pat Cave. Got another prop to show you today. I'm really excited about it, so go ahead and stick around and we're going to check it out right after this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pat Cave. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a prop I recently got from the 2024 film Alien Romulus. For better or worse, the Aliens franchise has spawned a multitude of sequels. You had Alien, Aliens, my personal favorite, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and finally Alien Romulus. I'm not really going to be mentioning the Alien vs. Predators movies. Those are sort of their own thing, so I'm going to leave them there and just keep this topic focused on the Alien franchise itself and leave the Predator to their own video. In Alien Romulus, Kaylee Spaney stars as Rain Carradine, who is put through the ringer when there's a xenomorph outbreak. Sort of follows the same recipe the other Aliens movies do. There's an isolated location, lots of expendable people, gruesome deaths. Rain's the protagonist for the most part, the heroine in the film. I loved her. I thought she was great. Now with this movie, there's two props that stuck out to me as a collector. The most prominent one is the iconic pulse rifle from Aliens that the Marines use. It should be mentioned that Romulus takes place 20 years after Alien, the original one with Sigourney Weaver, and 37 years before Aliens, sort of sandwiching it between those two films. That being said, the pulse rifle, it wouldn't make sense for it to look exactly how it did in Aliens because that movie was a lot later. So they sort of have went back to the drawing board and redesigned the pulse rifle. You can see that the inspiration's there, and I'll put up a picture of it. And unfortunately, there is no replica that at the moment that is released. I'm hoping to get one though eventually. It's definitely on my must-have prop list. So hopefully you're gonna see a video of that in the future at some point this year if I am able to get one. So the new pulse rifle was dubbed the F44AA, and I believe is going to be released by the Hollywood Collectibles Group. I saw a prototype of it at at a convention. I want to say it was like a toy fair or something along those lines, but they had some pictures of it that were really cool. Unfortunately, it's not able to really do any of the stuff that it does in the movie that I'm aware of, and I don't think it will be. It's more like a statue, and they've released the old pulse rifle too. So I actually have seen that one in Sacramento. They have a store there called Capitol Books, and down in the basement they've got tons of collectibles. They have that pulse rifle there, but it is expensive as you can imagine, so I never got it. I wanted to get the brown best version, and I think this is the olive green that they've got there, and there was two different versions of that. The paint color on the pulse rifles, the original ones from Aliens, has been debated to death. Excuse me. Anyways, the new one is painted white, looks awesome, has that aim assistance thing, which is cool. The little LED bars on the sides that kind of indicate how much ammo is in there. And we'll get more into that once we roll around to a video of me actually getting one. So the second prop from Alien Romulus that I really thought was cool, and I sort of look at as a companion piece to the pulse rifle, is a specially designed pair of Reebok Stompers that were made for the film, worn by Kaylee Spaney. She wears the shoes pretty much throughout the entire movie. You can see them from start to finish. I just thought they were really cool. They kind of stand out. They have that sort of retro look, but this takes place far in the future. So the director and Reebok sort of put this together because in the original Alien movie, Sigourney Weaver wore a custom pair of Reeboks as well. And those never were released to the public until a lot later. I want to say only maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I thought I heard that they had finally released a pair to the public, and they sold out instantly. They were gone, and now they're ultra expensive. Sort of like the Back to the Future shoes was the same sort of deal. And this time around, Reebok advertised these new Stompers from Alien Romulus. The marketing was all over the internet, all over Instagram. I kept getting ads for it, probably more so people that are into collecting like myself. I remember the night they were released, there was actually a countdown on Reebok's website, and I sat there and watched it. I wasn't actually gonna buy a pair of shoes. I thought about it, but they were very expensive, like $170. So what I did was I just waited, and I figured they sold out. Maybe I'd get a secondary, like a pair on the secondary market eventually. And Reebok sent out a notice that said that all of the Romulus shoes were 50% off. So I went on their website, and lo and behold, they were in fact 50% off, and the deal is still going to this day, although there's only 2 sizes left. Which brings me to my next point. These shoes that I bought are not for me to wear. They're not my style. I love them, and I think in the context of the movie, they are awesome, but I didn't buy them for me to wear. I wouldn't use them if I owned them and bought them in my own size. I look at them more as like a prop to be displayed here in the Pat Cave. So the next question I had to ask myself once I was gonna buy these shoes is, what size are they supposed to be? You know, when you buy costume stuff, Indiana Jones's jacket's a good example of this. Am I getting this costume piece for myself to wear, or am I getting it to be accurate to the film? And Indiana Jones's costume, that's something I could actually use from time to time for Halloween, things like that. These sneakers, I don't ever see myself wearing them for an Aliens costume. So I made the decision to buy the shoes in the size that was worn on screen in the movie, and I did my best to figure out what that was. And you might be wondering, well, how do you know what size shoes she was wearing? Well, that's a good question. And the reason is because I found an auction of a costume she wore that was screen used in the movie Civil War, and it had a shirt, pants, and boots. And the boots, size 6. So I didn't know that at first though, and I actually had ordered 2 other pairs of these shoes before that in a size, and these are women's sizes, so one of them was a size 5.5, and then the other one was a 7. And I had bought the 7 initially, found out she was actually quite short, the actress, so I'm like, well, she's probably a smaller size than that. Got a 5.5, and I never intended to keep any of them. You know, I ended up with 3 pairs of them. I sent 2 of them back just to get a refund on. Had no need for them. I don't plan to price gouge people and sell them over in the secondary market. So I bought the size 7, found out she was about 5'2" after that, realized the 7 might be a little big. And of course, there's no, you know, at this point, everyone's sizes are different, no matter your height, your shoe size, whatever. I just assumed it'd probably be a little smaller than a 7. Got a 5.5. Then I found that auction with the screen used shoes. They're a size 6. So apparently she wears a size 6 in real life. Then I ordered a 6, got those in, and that is what I have here today. I sent the other 2 back, they're gone. And let me go ahead and break out the box so you can take a look at it. And here is the box that the shoes come in. It's pretty big, I would say. It can fit, you know, anything from a size 4 in women's to a men's 14, I'm guessing, or 15. I don't know. But this box is huge, and these shoes are tiny. So it's kind of hilarious, I think, that they're in this huge box. They have this sort of clear acid look to them. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the acid ate away at the metal. Or maybe it's mud. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It looks like some kind of alien resin. Okay, so you're probably wondering about the price. These were listed originally at a retail price of about $170. I did not pay that. I paid half off price, so it was about $85, I want to say, when I bought them. And then with shipping, I think it was like $91 or something. These are listed as the Reebok. These are listed as the Reebok X Aliens BB 4000 Mark II. The Reebok X Aliens is the Reebok X Aliens Mark II 4000. It is the Aliens X, the Reebok X Aliens 4000 Mark II mid shoe. Oh my God, that's a mouthful. So I got 3 pair of these. The way they come is they almost are packaged the way Amazon packages things, which is to say not great. This was in a larger cardboard box. There was no type of padding, foam filling, nothing. So if you're a fanatic about the condition of your box or your shoes, you're probably not going to be impressed by it. And these were no different. They came in a box. There's little pieces scuffed up. I'm one of the types of collectors who does not keep boxes for virtually everything. I get rid of them just because they take up so much space. I don't have the extra space. And I know people probably say this, I never intend on selling them either. None of this stuff I buy ever intend on selling. Of course you do sometimes, and in which case you take a little loss because you don't have a box. If I think it's a prop that's gonna retain its value a lot better with a box, then I'll keep it. Otherwise, with things like this, I don't know if it's gonna matter too much. These are shoes, you know, but that's me. I could be crazy, I don't know. All right, here's the box so you can get a good look at that. Has these little stripes on the side. It looks like it's supposed to be, this sort of looks like the resin the aliens secrete and sort of leave all over the place. The top's got this transparent clear stuff. You've got the Alien Romulus logo next to the Reebok logo on the side. And here is the price, or not the price, the label with the sizing. These are a 4.5 men, 6 for women, which is the actress's size. That's what I opted to get. I sort of looked at them like the ruby slippers, you know, just tried to find the most accurate thing that I could. That would be just like the film. And here's how the shoes come. They come in this huge box, and it's got this angle. And it's kind of funny, you know, these shoes are so tiny. And the inside, if you wanted to see that, it's just like a bunch of more of that alien looking stuff. And these are the shoes themselves. I think they're really cool looking. I love how they come weathered already. They have the little retro look to them. They have little Velcro straps on here you can open. They've got the laces. I believe in the film she doesn't use this part for her laces. If I remember correctly, the laces don't go through there. So I'll have to take them out and sort of set them up. But here's the tag. Let me move that a little closer. And these shoes are getting pretty rare now. They're on eBay, but people are charging quite a bit for them. They sold out almost instantly within seconds on the website. There was a lot of drama. Well, I don't want to say drama, but there was just a lot of people having a really hard time purchasing them on the website, with the website crashing and freezing. And they were pretty upset with Reebok, which is understandable. But these are what the shoes look like. Here's a good look at the bottom. They have red soles with the Reebok logo. And then you got the back. This is kind of a neat touch, I think. They have the Weyland-Yutani symbol on the back. And nice solid leather, and looks nice and dirty like it would be, and which is how they should look, because they're supposed to have worked at a mining colony, and the spaceships are dirty, so it just sort of makes sense that the shoes would be filthy too. And I'm glad they come weathered. Like I said, I love that. And that is them, the shoes Kaylee Spaney wore as Rain Carradine for Alien Romulus throughout almost the entire movie. I hope you like that behind the scenes footage. I just pulled that off YouTube, a couple seconds here and there of her wearing them and some shots. She has really tiny feet, which is funny, but yeah, these shoes are freaking awesome, I will say. I love how they come weathered. Weathering something I do not really love. I don't really enjoy doing it myself, unless it's for very specific things. Ghostbusters, proton packs, things like that, where you get to add little silver accents. That's more fun. When you're trying to dirty something up, I don't particularly love doing that. So I love the fact that these came weathered already. And I'm gonna go ahead and set them aside, find somewhere in the cave for them, and hopefully once the pulse rifle's here, I'll be able to do a whole display and show you guys how that looks. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a while, and have a great weekend. I hope to see you guys soon for another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.